Hey guys, and welcome to another Pro series. In this video, I'll be going over security and security management. For those who don't know me, my name is Donald. I'm head of customer service here at Functional Solutions, and let's dive into some security. So first of all, what I like to uh, talk about when it comes to security is what is it and what does it do, and how can you use it in SmartSuite, and how can you use it in TV for Education. Alrighty, so let's jump in to my screen. And I guess the best place to start would be at our help article page. Okay, now as you can see, I just clicked on this help button, takes you straight to our help page where you can start typing in anything. Okay, so let's just go security. Okay, so these are all the articles we have with the word security in them. Okay, so you can just go through and I'll just have a look at a generic overview one that we have here. That will just explain, what security is and what it does. So first of all, there are two security fields that you'll be looking at when setting up security. The first one will be your patron security ratings. Okay, the second one will be your catalog security. Okay, so security on items within the system. Now, the easiest way to explain how it works is as you can see there, that little graph or table, it works via numbers. Okay, so you've got a 0 to 8 as the example shows here. All right, and then the so let's say this is your patrons levels and this is your records for so books or TV fed programs, as well as YouTube stuff that you can add to your school's collection. Now, the way it works is you will set a security level on a class grade. Okay, you can also do it on an individual patron, but we'll talk about bulk setting security. So you set it on a class grade, so a year level. The way I like to do it, so that I know exactly what year levels have, is I just match the security level to match the year level that they are. So let's say I've got a year 6 class. Okay, I'm going to set their security to 6. That way, if I'm ever editing a record or trying to share a record, I know, okay, I want to share it with my year 6s. 6 is the level I'll set the security item to, so that they can then view that in the catalog. Okay, so as you can see here, user security, they've set here 8. Okay, so year 8s will have a security of level 8. That means they can view anything that has a security of 0 all the way through to 8, but nothing greater than 8. Okay, so if you set a catalog record to be 6, then a year 8 student will be able to view that record. Okay, if you set it to 9, then they won't be able to view that record at all. Okay, whether that's a book or a program. If it's a book, it just means that they won't see it when searching the catalog, okay, the school's collection. And if they even pick it up from the shelf and bring it up to you to loan, the system will notify you saying that this is out of their security rating. Okay, let's say a junior student is trying to loan out a senior fiction book. Okay, that's a great example for your smart libraries, SmartSuite side. You'll get a notification in circulation saying that they can't loan that item. Okay, and if it's a TV for Education program, same deal. If it's an M-rated program, and this person or student can only view G-rated programs, then they won't see it in the system when searching. And if they did accidentally stumble across it somehow via a link, when they go to view it, it'll tell them that they don't have the correct permissions. Okay. So let's jump into how we view student security and record security. So let's start with our students. If we just go to patron management, okay, you can see here I'm just logged in as lib. Security is 0. Okay, this is where your security sits on patron management. And as I said before, it's attached to the class grade. So whatever class grade that the patron has been allocated to, it inherits that security level. Same way that your loan limits work as well. Okay, so if I just remove this and we'll go year 10, see if that has a security set on it. It doesn't, but I'll show you how we can adjust those. So if you go back to your menu, configuration, authority editor, right, change your audience to class grade, edit my year 10, okay, so they do have a security of 10, which is perfect. So let's go back to our patron management and we'll check why that hasn't updated, because loan lock limits is enabled. Okay, so for those who don't know what lock limits does, is if it's set to yes, any changes that we make in this section here won't update on that patron. The reason we do that, and this is off topic, but if a student, is unable to loan 11 items, you want them to loan 2 items. In your patron management, you can see, okay, he's got a limit of 1, even though the year 10s have a limit of 11, then lock that so that they can only ever loan 1 item for two days. Okay, so if I just turn that off, hit save, okay, you see that automatically updates. If I go back to login, they now have security of 10. Okay, so this is where you bulk change security levels for class grades, which then will push down to your students within those class grades. Okay, and again, I just like to keep it the same number as the class grade or year level. That way, when cataloging and you're changing the security, because when you do add items, depending on their classification, it'll have a specific level for those items. Okay, so if we then show you where to find those classifications and what levels they have, again in your authority editor, okay, we'll go down straight to the bottom and you have video default security. Okay, now this, as I said before, is your classification levels, okay, and that's for programs. This really will only be beneficial for our TVFred users. If you don't have TVFred, I'll go over book security in a second, but this really is very vital for all our TVFred users. As you can see, CTC, okay, that's added to anything that doesn't have a classification, right? By default, this is our test site, so everything's a little bit different. But by default, CTC is set to 50. Okay, G is always set to 0. M is set to 50, and MA is also set to 50. PG, I believe, is set to, it could be 50 as well, or it could be 9 on our default installs. Again, this is our test site, so we just muck around with all settings for testing. Q, that's just something that Quentin's added, again, for testing. And our R-rated programs, which I don't believe we have any, but if we ever did get some, they'll come through as 50 as well. And why, do you ask, do we use 50? We just use 50. It's a higher number that you can't accidentally mistake pushing in something, and that's normally set to staff or admins. I believe admins by default have 999. Again, it's just a large number that we've put in there. But 50 is normally your staff. Any staff should be able to view everything that's added to the system. okay? But you can come here and change these. So let's say your M-rated programs can be viewed by your year 10s and up, okay? So you'll set that as 10. Your MA is 12 and up, so that's your year 12s and staff. R will always stay as 50, G will 0, and CTC I would always leave as 50. That just saves you, in case a record that comes through that should have a higher rating, which it doesn't, it just doesn't, you're not going to have any students viewing things they shouldn't accidentally be viewing. So I would always leave that as 50. It does mean that as cataloging, you will need to edit these these security levels as they come in. So if I show you our schools collection, okay, if I can find the TV Fed program, here we go. Okay, so you can see this is M, meaning it will already have a security attached to it. Just click edit, take me to the catalog. Okay, security of 11. Okay, now if a student logs in and they're not a year 11 or up, they won't be able to view this item. You would notice that I did change the setting to 10. Okay, if you do change this, it does not change existing records that have been set. That will just change for any new items added after you've made your change. Okay. All right. Now, if I was to go to TV for Education, okay, you'll notice that if the item does have a rating, it'll be in the title of each record. Okay, so if I was to add this M1, go away and then click start to add. Okay, it's added. Come back to the schools collection. If I click on that, again, I'll go to my catalog page. Okay, I've got security of 10. Okay, so just remember, if you do decide to make a change after the fact, you will need to do a global update. Okay, and that'll be in your configuration global functions. Then you can change the security of items that are already in the system. Okay, so that's how security for TV Fred items works. Very simple. It does just mean if you do need to make a change on any record. So if it was a CTC record, it would come through with 50. You'd check that record. Okay, it's actually a G-rated program, so I'll mark it as 0. Save that record. Okay, and then any student logged in can view that. And that's one thing I forgot to say before. Students and teachers will need to be logged into the system to view any records on TV for Education within your school's collection. Alrighty. Now onto book security. Very, very similar. However, if we go to our global catalog, let's say you're importing a whole bunch of teacher resources, for example, only teachers can loan these items out. Okay, you can set this to be, the media of book as well, but you can also have, do we have a teacher reference here? No. Let's just use Quentin's books. Okay, you can then set this here, teacher reference, that's my location. Teacher reference, you have your security up here, we can set that to 50. Okay, now that just means when I then import records from SCIS or any other database I've set up, they will come through with the security of 50, so that when students are viewing the catalog, schools collection, Okay, they're not going to see any teacher reference books for one. And if they were to loan that item out, I'll show you just what I mean by that. If I just load up this record, this one, edit. Let's just add a security to this of 1000. Save. Grab that barcode in circulation. And just load up the lib user. So I'm logged in as. Okay, security conflict. Okay, so this just means it exceeds my security level, meaning that technically this student shouldn't be able to loan that item. Okay, so you will need to pay attention to the circulation warning when that pops up, but anytime you see security conflict, just means it's out of the security range. Okay, so that's your book security. Again, very simple. You just need to remember when you do set up your security that in your configuration authority editor is where you'll do your classification security, which is your bulk setting of security for each year level. Again, I do think that having the security number the same as the class grade or year level is the best way to go. That way it's easier to remember when setting and making changes to records. Also, your video default security is very important, so make sure you check this. As I said, by default it's already set, but you might want to make some changes there. So definitely check that page out so that you can adjust them to suit your school's needs. That way you're not getting into trouble with anyone viewing things they shouldn't be viewing. All right. If we just jump back to our configuration global functions, I'll just show you quickly how you can bulk set security on records under catalog, under functions created by FSI. Set security by loan type. So let's say you had a whole bunch of yearly loan items that students don't need to be loaning. You can set security by that, by location, media, and sublocation. Okay, so you can filter out the items that you wish to set security on. You can always create your own one as well. Okay, and then just add in, I don't know, you want to do it by barcode. You've got a set of books set aside. Okay, scan in your barcodes, hit search, change, and then make sure you select security from here, which is there. Okay, and then add a new security of whatever you want it to be, and then update. Okay, so make sure whatever you're changing, you just need to make sure that you've got your right filter in here or conditions so that you're getting the right records that you want to change. Alrighty, and as always, if you have any questions about security, if you're sitting on your authority page, click help. Okay, it'll load up our help page, and you can also then just start typing video default security. Okay, and then you've got your help article on how to make those changes to these areas. And there you can see the defaults here. Okay, we've also got little videos that you can watch if you don't like reading, and all that is the same thing that goes through everything on that. Alrighty. So as always, we appreciate you guys joining in on these sessions. We do run them weekly. Term 2's coming up very shortly, so we'll have a whole new set of videos coming out. So if you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do. Make sure you hit that bell so that anytime we run a live, you're notified. Also, if you can, join our Facebook community page. I'll put the link in the description below so that you guys can jump in, speak with other librarians using the system. They all have great ideas of how they, set up their home pages, how they update their loan limits at the end and start of year. There's just always different things that other people are doing that will speed up jobs. So definitely join our Facebook community page so you're not missing out on anything that we're doing in the future as well. All right, so as always, I really appreciate you guys joining in. I'll stick around for a few questions if there are any. If not, I'm sure I'll speak to you all very shortly. Okay, have a good day, guys.